Hey Dragon Slayers! Today's video is all about how to smoke and why it's my favorite cooking method of all time. So, the first thing that you need to know to smoke meats properly is that you have to have a sealed grill. So, smoking is all about proper airflow in and out. You do not want to have any leaks other than your intake or exhaust vents or valves. So I made this mistake when I first started getting into it. I bought this $20 Walmart grill, very basic, and I tried to put some little wood in the corner, light it on fire, and create some smoke. I did get a little bit of a smoky flavor. I created some decent ish food, but I did not understand how vital airflow was. As the more I did it, the more I began to understand the vitalness of airflow, and I ended up using weighing it down with rocks to get better airflow, but ultimately it did not work that well. Don't recommend the $20 Walmart grills. I even upgraded to this $150 or $200 grill from Amazon. Not very good either. You want something that is well sealed for smoking. I personally use the Kamado Joe Jr. It's gonna run you about $300 to $400, but it's a one-time investment. You should only need to buy one of these in a lifetime. So if you really want to get into smoked meats, that is what I highly recommend. So number two is you need to learn your specific grill. You need to know how to light it and how to adjust the temperature. I know it seems really basic, but it's so important. So with the Kamado Joe or the Kamado Joe Jr., it doesn't matter. When you light it, I tried a variety of methods to light it. So I tried fire starters, which work, but they take a very long time. They're like little cubes that you can buy and set them inside of the charcoal and light it up. And you essentially walk away. You can also use what they call a loaf lighter, which is basically this long, almost think of a blow dryer. That's the best analogy I can give. It just shoots hot air into the coals, but it also is a little slow. My personal favorite method is a map torch. And so it's the same torch that you would use when you're grilling, or sorry, when you're searing your meat. You can use that to light your coals. It takes less than a minute to light the coal fully, and you're on your way. So, after you know how to light it, you need to understand how to adjust the temperature. On the Kamados, there is a valve, or I guess like a sliding door at the bottom, and then there's a sliding valve with little holes at the top. Generally, you want to adjust your temperature from the top down. And what that means is that basically your bottom vent is your intake vent, and your top vent is your exhaust vent. So I've one analogy I've heard is that the bottom vent is the accelerator. So the more you have that open, the more rapidly your fire is going to rage, and you don't want a raging fire when you're smoking. You want a very steady, controlled fire, generally between 200 and 250, no more than 275 degrees at the absolute most. So know that you generally want just one finger's width, right? One finger's width at the bottom. And every grill is different. That's why, unfortunately, this topic is way too complex to cover in one video. But I just want to give you guys some high level tips. Control your airflow from the top, and that's going to help you control your temperature on a Kamado style grill. And last, you need to learn your woods. So, some woods that are common to my area are post oak, cherry, apple, hickory, and mesquite. The woods that are available to you are going to vary based upon your area. So, find whatever is available in your area and experiment with different woods. Different woods impart different flavors. Cherry wood it does make it taste like cherries. Apple wood doesn't necessarily make it taste like apples, but it does give a subtle sweetness to it. Hickory is my absolute favorite. Mesquite, I personally find to be too strong, so I don't like it as much as hickory. I use hickory on all of my beef, I use apple wood on all of my pork, and I pretty much never use mesquite except sometimes turkey. But yeah, those are kind of the basics, very high level on how to smoke. And the number one reason why I love smoking food is because you can't really get those flavors in any other way. There's no way liquid smoke does not even begin to season your food with the same richness and the same depth as smoking it with the actual wood yourself. I used to make this joke all the time when people would talk about, oh, what did you do during COVID? And I said, oh, well, I started smoking. And they would look at me and they're like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, I bought a grill and I started smoking meats. And they're like, oh. So that's another corny joke you can tell your friends that you started smoking too. So that's what I've got for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can support me at Patreon in the description below. And remember that together, you and I will slay the dreaded diabetes dragon.